Welcome to T4 Adventures. So today's episode we are going to change the oil, the regular engine oil, and the front differential and the rear differential fluids. So this is going to be our 20-hour break-in period fluid change. So they say about 120 miles or 20 hours. Jackson's testing out his dirt bike, retuning his carb on his two-stroke. So, man, we got all kinds of distractions on this channel, don't we? Seems like every time. So anyway, we're gonna do that. I bought the kit from where I bought the machine itself at the dealership, and I think it was about $86 for the kit. That came with the front and rear differential fluids, and 4 quarts of oil, the oil filter, and it came with some little rubber gloves and a paper funnel, things like that. So it's a pretty easy thing to do. Just we'll show you what kind of tools as we go along, what you need, and things to look for, and how to get to all the places that you need to get to, like taking out the driver's seat to get to the dipstick and all that kind of thing. Stick around, we're going to show you all that. To get to the oil fill and oil check, you have to take the driver seat out, and there's a little tab underneath and the seat pulls out. So there's a little lever right here on the seat. Just lift it up and pull the seat out. Okay, now they have the seat out. There's a rubber flap right there, so it's going to be held in with these 2 pins. So you just pull that out and then pull the whole pin out, and it's just a rubber flap right here. And here's your oil fill. And our filter is down there, and oil drain is down there, and that is for the engine oil. Okay, now for the front differential, we're going to drain the fluid and then we're going to fill it up. Okay, so on the passenger side of the front, you can see right there, that is the differential fluid fill. And then the drain is right here. Alright, so here's the rear differential. That's the fill right here, and then the drain is just right underneath. Okay, so we're under the machine. We're going to do the front differential, and it is a 14 millimeter. And then the fill plug is 1 1/16 inches. So we have that on a 3-inch extender. Alright, let's loosen this up, and then we'll loosen the fill bolt, and then that way it can flow through pretty good. And we got our paper towel here. Alright, let's loosen the fill plug. The fluid coming out of the front differential is pretty clean. So it's not a whole lot in there. We're gonna let this drain out and then put the plug back in, fill it up, and then we'll go do the back one, which is gonna empty that fluid in the same basin as we did the front one. And then the regular engine oil is almost 4 quarts, so we're gonna have to have a separate one just for that, because it will probably get it pretty close to full. Alright, so that's pretty much empty. So we're going to go ahead and put the plug in and fill it. When you go to fill it, it's kind of a ways over there. We're going to have a little funnel, and then that kit that I got, it comes with a paper funnel, but I have a different funnel to make it easier. But you're supposed to get right when the fluid just starts hitting the thread. That's supposed to be the full mark. Okay, so the back differential, the drain plug is the same size. It's 14 millimeter. The fill plug is a lot smaller than the front one. It's a 19 millimeter. Alright, so let's get that going. Looks like the rear differential is a little dirtier than the front. This is where most of the action happens, huh? Alright, we got the fill plug out, so we're going to go fill up the front differential while the back one is draining. Okay, so the front differential holds about 9.7, so almost a quart, and our bottle is 1 quart. So it should just be a little bit less than what we have in here. So this is just a long funnel. This is for my generators to add oil and stuff, so this should work pretty good. We might have to take this off real quick. Alright, let me take this off real quick first. Alright, I think that helped quite a bit. Just pour a little bit at a time, see how it goes. Looks like it's flowing down over there pretty good. Alright. Alright, let's put the fill plug back on, and then we'll go fill up the back one. Make sure we don't have any dust or debris. Looks good. Okay, we gotta remember to put our positive wire back on our winch. Back differential is finished draining, so we're gonna put our plug back in. Alright, so let's fill up the back one. This is gonna be a little easier. Don't have all that frame stuff to get around. So same thing, almost a quart. So it'll take just a little less than this container. Alright, so you can see our fluid right there at the thread, so we are full. Now we're just going to put the fill cap on and we'll be done with the rear differential. Alright, so now let's tackle the engine oil and then the oil filter. Okay, so for the engine oil, it is a 17 millimeter. So we roughly have about 4 quarts of oil in there, and our drain pan is 7 quarts, so we got plenty of room. Alright, let's start draining the oil here. Alright. Well, that don't look super dirty. Don't look too bad. Let's go up there and open the fill cap. That way it can flow through freely. We'll let that empty and then we'll pull out the oil filter. Okay, we got our new filter here, and I'm gonna go ahead and probably about 3/4 of the way, mostly full, just to just below the thread line there. Fill that with oil. So I'm just using this cardboard box in case I make a mess. So that looks good right there. Alright, it's filling in a little more. Alright, that's good right there. And then before we put the filter on, we're going to dip our finger in the oil and just rub that gasket and then tighten her up. Okay, we're going to put the drain plug in. That way we can drag the pan over, because we'll probably get some runoff from the filter itself. So let's put the drain plug on, or in. Okay, that's on. Let's see if we can get our filter out. Let's see. Just got to get it going the right way. I think our pan is covering in it. Okay, we can get it by hand now. There we go. Alright. Alright, we're going to let that drain. Now we got our new one down here. Just getting the gasket. Rubbing a little oil around that gasket. Alright, that looks pretty good. Alright, get that put in there. I'm gonna get it hand tight, then I'm gonna use my wrench very gently and tighten it. That's good right there. Okay, we'll wipe the bottom of that with a towel. Well, now I think we're ready to put the oil in. So that's going to be up there where the dipstick is. I think we're going to use our funnel again, because I think that'll make it easier. Alright, let's do that. Alright, we got our drain plug in, we got the filter in, we got our funnel, and we got our oil. Let's start filling her up. Quart number 1, quart number 2. I did a little slow. It's a small funnel. I'll probably have a bigger funnel somewhere, but I don't know how clean it is. This one here I keep in a Ziploc bag, so I know it's clean. Quart number 2. So the oil changing kit that I got, so it says the box on the picture shows green gloves, and this one here says green gloves, and it's actually black gloves. Man, I got ripped off. I wanted green gloves, man. Come on. Alright, quart number 3. You actually got a little storage area down here. You could get maybe a small storage box that seals up like a plastic box and stick it down in here if you wanted. Be like a secret hiding place. Shh, don't tell nobody. Quart number 3 down. Alright, so we know it takes pretty close to 4 quarts. It says like 4.2 when it's completely dry. I'm sure we didn't have it completely dry, so it's probably going to be right around 4. So once we get close to empty on this one, we'll slow it down and then we'll check it with the dipstick. I got about a quarter of it left. I'm gonna check and see what we look like. It's nice if you have a lot of paper towels and or shop towels. Let's dip it in there and see what we got, if anything we're reading. We're about half, and we didn't even screw it in, so I think we're going to be good filling the rest of it up. Alright, 4 quarts. Alright, drop our dipstick. Let's see what we got. We'll go ahead and screw it all the way down. There. Let's see what we got. We are Right at the full mark. Perfect. We are good to go. Alright, so we got all the drain plugs in. We got all the fill caps closed. Oil filters in. So the next step is to just put all our panels back into place. And then we're going to start up, back it out of the garage, and then just let it run for, I don't know, maybe 5 minutes. Just get those fluids going. And then we'll just get under there, and everywhere we've done work, we'll check for any kind of leaks. Alright, so we got the machine backed out of the garage. We let it run for about 5 minutes, and just kind of checked over everywhere we did work, all the plugs that we undid. Make sure there's no leaking fluid coming out. Everything looks great. No issues, sounds good, runs good. We should be good to go till the next oil change. So what I'm going to get in the habit of doing, and probably a good habit for anybody who has a side-by-side, is these differentials, I'm going to go ahead and change out that fluid every time I do an oil change. Alright, well, thanks for tuning in, and just remember, give me a like. If you're not a subscriber, go ahead and subscribe. And if you'd like your picture posted on a future video, email that to T4adventures@yahoo.com, and we'll post those. So it's just a picture of you and your machine, or just your machine, just out and about where you're at. Just give me your name and where you're from, and we'll post that on a future video. Thanks for tuning in. Alright, next on T4 Adventures, we're going to try to address our off-camber issues with our front wheels.